So this is a nice little segue, Zach, into a little debate we got into on Twitter yesterday. I did anyway, over just the notion of Fangio kind of sticking to his guns, right? On Friday when he spoke as rookie minicamp kicked off, he was, of course, asked about I'll just read the quote. Let me just pull up the quote real quick here. Give me 1 second. But as the Denver Broncos were gearing up for camp, here's what Vic Fangio actually said relative to the coming quarterback battle on whether Drew Lock, as the incumbent, will get the first team snaps at quarterback over Teddy. Quote, that will be day by day. It's totally 50-50. Maybe I'll flip a coin to see who takes the absolute first snap of the offseason and training camp. He kind of said that with a rueful smile on his face for what it's worth. By the end of the day, meaning by the end of training camp, before those guys make the decision for us with their play, it's going to be a 50-50 proposition. Some days, some guy might get more than the other. Then it'll even out the next day or a few days later. It's not going to be 50-50 every day, but over the course of this offseason and training camp, it will be, close quote. So, Zach, my thing on this is I question the wisdom of taking away those reps from Drew. And not just for Drew's sake, but for that young supporting cast. And it's, not just the skill guys, right? Not just the receivers, tight end, and running backs, but that offensive line as well, especially when you consider that Locke is the incumbent, meaning that, he's the guy that they went to battle with last year. I don't think there's any chance Drew Lock doesn't take, to answer his question, the actual question Fangio fielded there, I don't think there's any chance Drew Lock doesn't take that first team snap. But I still question the wisdom, Zach, of taking those reps away. That doesn't mean you don't allow Teddy to push him. That doesn't mean Teddy doesn't even get maybe some of the first team reps. In a perfect world, if you're really trying to maximize Drew in year 3, and they got a lot of hope still pinned on Drew Lock, believe it or not, all right, then you let him be the first team guy. You let Teddy Bridgewater run the second team. And let me tell you something, Zach. If Teddy Bridgewater is just cutting it up and dominating the second team and Drew's throwing picks and Drew's struggling to move the chains and all that stuff, it's only a matter of time before he moves up and starts eating into some of those first team snaps. And then the coaches would have a decision to make. So my point here is you're not really taking anything away from the competition aspect of it by keeping the first team with Drew initially and the second team with Teddy. But it doesn't sound like that's what they want to do. And I think the reason behind that is simply competitive anxiety. They felt like the Drew they saw last year, even with all those outlying obstacles from the pandemic, no OTAs, no preseason, a weird training camp, the injury, all that new OC, all that stuff, they recognize that. But I think they also feel like they maybe erred in not giving him a true threat, a true guy behind him to kind of foster that competitive anxiety.
Well, obviously, I agree with you. I would prefer the starting quarterback to get the majority or all of first-team practice reps. But here's the problem with making Teddy be the second string. That's tilting this competition in his favor because he should be dominating the second-string defense, Chad. He's a seasoned veteran. He's played for some of the best offensive minds in the league. So I think he should be doing well, and I don't think that's fair to put him against Locke with the first string. But here's what I'll say. I don't think Fangio is being dishonest to answer Tom's question. I think he is being honest. I think he wants it 50-50. Here's what bothers me, though, and I've been accused lately of being a grumpy old man, so I'll embrace that for a second. I don't like the flip a coin thing. I mean, he's in no position to joke around right now. What does that even mean? Why would you even say that? I mean, you're already a defensive mind. You have a lot of criticism facing you because you're very hands-off. Why flip a coin? This is the season hanging in the balance. This is your job hanging in the balance. And that, to me, was a big turnoff by Vic Fangio. Get involved, make a decision, but don't joke around. The Broncos are not in the position to act that way. So I would prefer Locke to get the starting opportunity, but there's a reason they acquired Teddy Bridgewater, and there's a reason they acquired him when they did on the eve of the draft. I think they want to make this 50-50 down the middle, but it's only going to hurt both of them, like you mentioned, not having 100% of reps with the first string.